Hello and welcome back to yet another Memorabilia Monday. This, of course, is your favorite part about.
Mondays.
I'm John, and with me, as always, is my old man.
This is Bob the Collector.
Well, collector, how you doing? It's a big sports week.
It really is. There's a lot going on. We had as you know, we taped this on Sunday, so we had the NBA playoffs. I mean the top seeds going, yesterday the Timberwolves losing unfortunately to the Nuggets. Got the Wild NHL playoffs started, Wild winning. We've got baseball starting. The Twins are on a roll. They had won quite a few in a row, and then they now I think they're on a three-game losing streak. So typical Twins. Seems to happen a lot. They win eight in a row, then they lose nine in a row. It's like I don't know what it is about this team, but hopefully they can turn it around and get back in the winning ways. And of course, there's the NFL draft this week, which is one of my favorite things to do in the entire year. It's one of my favorite sporting events is the NFL draft.
Fair, yeah,
Unfortunately, the Packers don't have a first round pick, but who knows? Maybe there'll be a trade.
yeah. I highly doubt it, but already some crazy news breaking. I mean, the Bengals giving up a top 10 pick for Dexter Lawrence. He's a great player, but whoa, that's a high price there.
Right.
Um, yeah, a lot will happen draft week. A lot of fun, a lot of excitement. And I believe I know what item you have to share, and it has to deal with a draft day trade.
It does. This is probably, and I think most people would agree, one of the craziest draft day trades of all time. And you probably know it, the Ricky Williams trade. Mike Ditka, the coach of the New Orleans Saints at the time, decided to pull the trigger. He wanted Ricky Williams really bad. Um, Gave up all his draft picks for that year, traded to Washington. That plus, I think, a first and a third round pick in the 2000 draft. So their third through seventh round picks that year, and their first round pick, which was 12 overall, and their number one pick in 2000, and their third round pick in 2000 as well. So a lot of draft capital given up for one player.
Is it weird to say that that doesn't seem like that much?
Well, if you know he's a sure Hall of Famer, one of the greatest running backs, and you might think that looking at his career in college, 1998 Heisman Trophy winner, just is nicknamed Texas Tornado. He was amazing in college, and
Hmm.
everybody thought he was going to be. Oh, and between well, I think this since Cleveland Browns at number one were even thinking of drafting him. You knew he was going to be a top 10 pick no matter what. Ended up the number five overall pick. See if I remember right. Number one was Tim Couch going to the Browns, quarterback.
Yep.
Number two, Donovan McNabb, who had a solid career with the Eagles. Number two, number three was Achilles Smith, which was quite a draft bust by the Cincinnati Bengals. Number four was a Hall of Famer, Edgerrin James, to the Colts, and five, Ricky Williams to the Saints after that
Yeah.
trade with Washington.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Ricky is one of those biggest, I think, what ifs. What if he played in today's era of football? Would he have thrived, or was he just, kind of a victim of his circumstance and where he was drafted? The fact that he was drafted in New Orleans, where they didn't have the best offensive line in front of him, um,
Yeah,
didn't utilize his skill set the most. Because look at what he did towards the back end of his career when he joined Miami.
yeah.
He was a
Well,
really
right.
solid. I mean,
Yeah,
you talk about the Wildcat and how, influential it is on today's game. I mean, that was kind of solidified with the Dolphins and Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams.
hmm yeah. And you think of Ricky Williams, he's not a Hall of Famer, and you think, oh, he's kind of a bust. But look at his career. He spent 11 seasons in the NFL, one in the CFL. And he played 3 years with the Saints. I think there's just so much expectations on him with the Saints, just so much pressure. They gave up so much. Their whole 1999 draft, you know, choices were traded, and their first round pick in 2000 and third round pick. That maybe the expectations were too high in New Orleans. They expected him to be the savior to come in and get him a Super Bowl, that first year. Traded in 2002 to the Miami Dolphins for, and the Saints got four picks back on that, including two first round picks. So at least they got something back for him. But that first year with the Dolphins, 2002, he had uh, 1,853 yards,
Yeah.
16 touchdowns. A great year for him. So, I mean, he definitely, was a talent and obviously could play in the NFL. Um, but yeah, like you said, he was great with Miami for those
Yeah,
seasons
just
that he played with
never
them.
reached quite the expectations, but when those expectations are that high, they're hard to reach. But yeah, collector, why don't you briefly describe the item for the viewers?
Oh, sure. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to do that. This is a jersey, signed jersey by Ricky Williams. He is doing some shows now. Uh, I've seen that. I haven't gotten him at a show. This was, I think, through a hit parade, wasn't it?
Hmm.
One of our hit parade hits was jersey. Find the jersey, and we got the Ricky Williams jersey, which is a nice pull. Um,
Yeah.
I think if he does come to a show, I probably will get his autograph because he's pretty reasonable. Um, I don't know if he'll be at the national, but if he is, I would probably be interested in picking up a mini or something, or maybe another jersey signed
Yeah,
by him.
that'd
But
be
yeah,
sweet.
nice autograph. No inscriptions on this one. If I do go to a show, I'll have him inscribe it with either Heisman or something else.
I was gonna say, what would you get him to inscribe it?
Probably Heisman or maybe that 2002, stat line, the 1,853 yards and 16 touchdowns. Um, but yeah, I think I would do that. And the other item that I wanted to show, but I can't find it, is Mike Ditka. Of course, we saw him in Chicago at a show, oh, probably a decade ago or so. And nice autograph. Got him on a mini Chicago Bears helmet. But like I said, I'd have to dig through the collectible room to find it and tear everything apart. But it's in there somewhere.
Right.
But those two
Well,
are
I
kind of joined
think
at the hip. There's Sports Illustrated cover of them right after the draft. It's kind of a funny one if you look back at that one.
absolutely. Well, I think this was a cool item to share. It's a definitely a draft memory for sure that is probably ingrained in a lot of people's minds. And we'll see if there's any crazy trades that come up on this Thursday as the first round kicks off. But collector, once again, great find, great item.
Well, yeah, and
And
oh, sorry, I just wanted to finish off talking about him. Like I said, people don't think of him much for his NFL career, but he ended up with over 10,000 yards rushing. So, and he took 2 years off. He retired in 2000 after the 2003 season, so took 2004 off. 2005 came back to the Dolphins. 2006 he was suspended for substance use, and then he played in the CFL with the Toronto Argonauts that year. Played for a couple more years with the Dolphins, and then ended his career with the Ravens. His final year was 2011, I believe.
wow. Yeah, I mean that's a remarkable career and a remarkable autograph collector. Thank you for showing it. And as always, be sure to keep it mint.
Keep it gem mint, just like this week in sports with the NBA playoffs, with the hockey playoffs, and of course with the NFL draft. And like you said, let's hope for some crazy draft stuff, and maybe the Packers will be involved in some crazy maneuvers and jumping up to a first round pick. Let's hope.
Or let's not hope and just stick and pick.
That's true. We do need help, so let's not get rid of all those other draft picks that we have.
Yep. All right. As always, keep it gem mint, everybody, and we'll see you later.
All right, bye.